So today we'll begin with Atma Darshan, chapter 7. Atma Vinde Bodha Swarupam. The I as the light of consciousness. So in the previous chapter, Atmananda encourages the spiritual seeker to fix his attention on the I principle if freedom is what one is seeking. Now, when you manage to fix your attention on the I principle, it becomes evident that the I principle is like the source of light of consciousness, and everything else is illumined by this source. Yeah. All else, everything that we are talking about is not like how this trackpad is illumined by the daylight right now. No. When there is no daylight and darkness, the trackpad is still here. Yeah, so it is independently existing apart from the source of light. We are not talking in that way. Huh? Even though we call it light, attempt to understand that it has a higher meaning. Clear? What is the higher meaning? When we say everything else is illumined by the source of consciousness, we are saying that everything else is not independent of the source of consciousness. Is that clear? Yeah. Means the light is projecting the way a hologram is projected. There is a source of light, the projection is also light, and the projected form is also light. Yeah. So if there is no projection, there is no projected. Yeah. It's not similar to this trackpad being illumined by the sunlight, whatever little sunlight is coming in here. Is that very clear? Because sun exists independently, trackpad exists independently. These are waking state analogies simply used to help the spiritual seeker understand, at least attempt to understand a little bit. When Atmananda was probably teaching these shlokas, there was no concept of a hologram. Yeah, understand it. Otherwise, if Atmananda was a modern, today's teacher, what would he have said? He would have simply said, like the hologram, which is the source as well as that which is projected. He would not use any other light. He would simply use the word hologram, and people will get it. Yeah, because this is modern era. But understand that these shlokas were written when there was no concept of a hologram. Before we go into the first sutra, understand, I recognize that I am the source of light. I recognize that I am the projection, and I understand that I am the projected form and name. I've given that some label. I call that a name. Yes, I am all of this. When do I project? Waking state. I have a waking world that I have projected. Yes, and I've given it different labels. Yeah, names given to all the projected forms. There is a family, there is work, there is finances, there is whatever political group, social group, etc., etc., etc. I have created a world out of that projected light. Is this very clear? Yeah. Now, I don't create directly in the waking first. I create first in the dream. So in the dream, from the deep sleep darkness, first is projected a sense of I exist, I am. That is that feeling that you have right now, that little sense of I am. Not I am Pamir or I am Shailaja, I am Ekta, not I am this or that. The feeling that is beyond the this or that sense of I am. That is the first projected subtle form. It is still a form, huh? It is subtle. Yeah. Subtle means it is still not grossified as an object. There is simply that sense, the sense of existing. Yeah. So this subtle form is projected first. It comes from the deep sleep state and it gives an illusory appearance of a subject. Yes. Then that subject projects something in the dream, whatever, irrespective of the content of the dream. There is simply a permutation and combination of earth, water, fire, ether, air. Yes, and that subtle projection is then labeled as dream world, whatever it is. Yeah, content not important. So there are two projections. First is this dream character, which is projection of perception, sensation, thought, or feeling. In the dream, you don't have a very long story. You simply have some feeling or some visual image, or you have some sensation, depending on what the content of the dream is. It is actually just one little attachment, whatever it is, that comes up first. This is your clue. Oh, in this dream, sensation was projected, and there's nothing else, only sensation. Yeah. So the subject, the sense of I attached to this sensation, whatever the sensation was. Yes. And there was earth, water, fire, ether, air. Basically, the world. Basically, whatever the situation was. That is earth, water, fire, ether, air. The world is comprised of these 5 elements. I first put labels there. And this subtle projection gets extended to the waking. It's objectification of the same subtle thought. Gross objectification of the same subtle thought. Yeah. Just like the dream world is made of earth, water, fire, ether, air, the waking world is made of earth, water, fire, ether, air. But now there is gross objectification. That means the sense of touch is very important in the waking. Yeah, I can feel the earth. I can actually get burnt by fire. There is an I that has grossified as the body, which can get burnt by fire, which can feel the earth, yeah, which can get wet if it puts its hands into the water. So there is a grossified, continuous interaction between earth, water, fire, ether, air, and perception, sensation, thought, feeling. This gives me an illusion that the waking world is more real than the dream world. But that's not true. Even in my dream, I had a strong sensation. Who had the strong sensation? Yes, I chose to let go of that sensation after I assumed to be the waker. So, from the waker's perspective, dream world, no, that's an illusion. This is true. Ask the dreamer. Dreamer says, no, that is an illusion. The waking world is an illusion. This dream is true. Everything is simply projection of my consciousness. I'm the source of consciousness. There is no light. Please don't imagine some bulb-like light coming on. There is no light. It is simply that I am the source of consciousness and I give birth to the feeling of consciousness. Perception, sensation, thought, and feeling that comprise of the subject is the feeling of being conscious. And earth, water, fire, ether, air is simply the ability to experience consciousness. It is consciousness experiencing consciousness. Consciousness feeling conscious. Are you getting it? Yeah. The subject is consciousness, emphasizing, yes, I am conscious, I'm feeling conscious. That is perception, sensation, thought, and feeling. And the object in my so-called projection, the object is nothing but earth, water, fire, ether, air, which equals to the consciousness experiencing consciousness. So somebody asked me, are these two different? These two are the flavors of the same jijivisha. The craving to be and the craving to experience. Now, has this become very clear? To be is manifested as perception, sensation, thought, feeling. Craving to experience is manifested as earth, water, fire, ether, air. There is no other beyond these. And these are all labels put in retrospect. In the dream, you don't sit and label, oh, this is earth, this is water, this is fire, this is ether, this is perception, sensation. No. There is simply the lust to experience, and that experience is manifesting as something, some event. Super clear? Yeah. So the subtle projection of the dream objectifies to a gross projection, which is labeled as the waking world. Just like the dream world is not really made of earth, water, fire, ether, air, waking world is not made of earth, water, fire, ether, air. These are simply labels given to light. It is light. What is hologram? It is light. I can project another Ekta sitting here with the help of light. Yeah, and I can talk to her and it appears that she's really here. But if I go to touch her, there is no Ekta. There is no earth, water, fire, ether. Is this clear? I'm giving hologram as an example for you to understand that this lasts only 14, 16, 18 hours of the waking state. Are you still very attached to this? Or now has it become like open eye nirvikalpa samadhi, where you simply see some interaction between some sensation and some maybe fire, or some thought and maybe ether, or some feeling and maybe water. Do you see it? No need of labels, just seeing that to be and to experience, playing a little game, consciousness playing with itself. You know how as a little kid you played with your little doll, you made her sit, you combed her hair, and you gave her food to eat, and you said, come on, off to school. And she really went to some school and she sat there, and some teacher is teaching her. But there was really nothing happening. There was nothing happening. Are you able to, in your own open-eyed nirvikalpa samadhi, see that nothing is happening here? Nothing is happening here. Nothing is happening here. Are you there yet? This is homework number 1, self-evaluation. Can I actually recognize it's some perception, sensation, thought, feeling, intermingling with earth, water, fire, ether, air, labels put in retrospect. Actually, nothing really is happening here. It's a play of thought. Thought is playing on stage. Subtle thought objectifies and looks like gross thought. And that gross thought is very angry, very adamant, very sure that it exists. I am. See, this is me, this is mine, that is mine, that is mine, that is mine. This whole drama is only thought playing on stage. Can you see the stage instead of getting pulled by a single thought that is very strong, that has a very strong hold on you? Can you constantly, moment to moment, open-eyed, focus on the entire stage? That is your self-evaluation homework number 1. If this seeing is very clear, then what Atmananda is saying in this chapter will be very clear to you. Let's go to verse 7.1. Are you able to see that this spouse, this parent, this sibling, this child, these perceptions of sight are nothing but me, the consciousness? One without a second is used for a specific reason, because you feel that, oh, spouse, child, parent, sibling, 4 entities. No, there is no 4. Yeah, the moment one is used, many is implied. 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to infinity gets implied. No, there is no many. It is all me. It is all me. Are you able to see that? How much ever dramatic these perceptions seem to be, they are me. They are not separate from me. And I abide in all of them. I means I am the Atma. Yeah, so Atma is not some ghost. Atma is not some uh, individual thing, individual entity, which I can label as Ekta and you can label as Bhavani and you can label as Shelja. No, they're not. It's not an individual entity. Atma is that one single stage. That one single stage, which includes everything and everyone. Yeah, like I said, in a hologram, the source projector is light, the projection is light, and the projected form is also light. Can you see? It's a light source. Yeah, it's projecting light. When it projects light, it seems on this, it's just a paperweight. On this, it seems, oh, it is projecting bubbles. Yeah, it seems it is projecting a form, and I gave it the name bubble. But really, there is nothing like that. Yeah, there is no bubble there really. It's simply glass. It's a paperweight made of glass. Yeah, just like an illusory appearance for a moment gave me the idea, oh, there's bubbles, and that's bubbles, maybe bubbles of water. But it was an illusion. No, it's simply glass. Yeah. Like that only. Everything appears like maybe child is very adamant today, spouse is not cooperative, or the parent is not cooperative, the boss is behaving, in a difficult manner. That might attract the whole attention of the Atma towards the object, and the Atma assumes to be this one. Yeah, this little character playing on that stage, and the entire focus shifts into a one little attractive or repulsive, depends on your situation, attractive or repulsive corner of the stage. Oh, I've slipped again. I've slipped again. I am the changeless Atma. Take that complete stage, the complete stage again. Yeah. Beyond a point, it's very difficult to put this in words. You have to recognize it as a part of your open-eyed nirvikalpa samadhi. Clear? Just like a dream world appears to have a form, but there is no real form there. Can I see that this waking world just appears to have a form, but there is no form here? It is merely thought. And that is why it is not there in the dream, but I am there. This is not there in the deep sleep, but I am there. And being able to see yourself continuously as the stage on which there is the waking projection and that disappears. Then there is the dream projection and then that disappears. And then there is lights out. But the stage is there. There is no character on stage. Nothing, not even this that I was thinking is I. That is also not there on stage. Lights are off, but I have the sense of I am there. That's how I know that the lights are off, that there is an absence. How did I know the absence? Who knows the absence? Oh, I am there. Like that, constantly maintaining the recognition of being the stage is recognizing that you are the changeless Atma, the one without a second, which abides in filling all. So, self-evaluation number 2. Do I recognize this continuously? From waking into dream, from dream into deep sleep, then back from deep sleep into dreams. I might shuttle a few times here, deep sleep, dream, deep sleep, dream, deep sleep, dream, and then back to the waking. Am I able to maintain that recognition of being the stage itself? Of being the stage itself. Evaluate, check for yourself. Your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana will be your testimony. So if this becomes very clear that yes, I recognize it, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, dreaming, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and this continues. I am in constant recognition. Yes, there are slips here and there, and that's okay. Even in that little slip, there's this recognition. Oh, I am the changeless light of Atma that is projecting this attractive or repulsive situation. This situation was so strong on me, it consumed me. I forgot I am the Atma. Immediately, I have taken my correct stand as the stage. That's fine. You keep slipping, but there is a constant coming back, constant coming back. Yes, is that happening? That is your next homework. Slipping is okay. It's happening because I have given so much energy to the previous interaction between a sensation and water, probably, or between perception and a combination of earth, water, fire, ether, air. I've given so much importance to that, to be and to experience that intermingling between the two. I've given so much force of attraction to it that it tends to consume me when the memory comes up now. Yeah. So even if the situation in front of me is not really exactly what that memory holds as a strong vasana or impression, I still see through the colored glasses of that memory. Yeah, this will be a totally new situation. It's just that maybe the characters are the same, some event looks similar, something that triggers that hidden impression. The moment that gets triggered, it's like suddenly automatically pink color glasses come on. I was seeing nice and transparent. I lose clarity. Now I see everything pink. And I get consumed. You did this and this happened and then this happened. Blah, blah. And then suddenly you realize, oh, no. I'm the changeless Atma. This is okay. Yes, this is okay. Please do not beat yourself up and do not feel, oh, it has to be 24/7 without even a single slip. No. You slipped and immediately recognized, no, that you have slipped and came back. You came back does not mean that the body mind person came back from that. The body mind person will continue to now interact for some time at least based on that vasana. Remember this. Your problem is you are trying to force the body. No, now you also recognize that you are the Atma. Arey, the body is not the Atma. No, you also recognize that you're the Atma. It's like telling the hero on the screen, you also recognize that you are the audience. The hero on the screen is not the audience. He can never be the audience. Do you get this? Is this very clear? So do not put a mandatory condition on the body mind person that you have to change today. You have to recognize that you're the Atma. The body can never recognize that it is the Atma. You're beating your head against a wall. This is again your Dvaitam conditioning. Clear? Yeah. So you have to be very clear. The waking world, along with its waker, is the changeless light of Atma. And that light of Atma abides in the entire waking world. Yeah. That does not mean that the waker can turn back and recognize the Atma. No, it itself is the Atma. And it was given a little role that you have to go on stage today and play this little role of argument. You're saying, no, now stop the role in the middle. No, it has that rule. Eh? Once it has started, it will stop only once it ends. It cannot stop midway. Yeah. So if a situation has been projected in the waking world, it is Atma. It is light projecting in such a way that it gave it that form. It is light only. Its form plays on an automatic program called that previous Vasanathmic memory, which triggers it. And then this starts. Look at it as a stage. Recognize, see, now there is just this Vasanathmic memory, which has become pink color glasses. And this body-mind waker is speaking through these pink color glasses. It's holding on to that memory and saying that today's situation is also like that. That is the argument. The conflict is between two illusions. Conflict is never between the reality and the illusion. Do you recognize this? Conflict is always between two illusions going on here. You simply recognize. Have a good laugh. Ha ha. What fun. Yeah. But do not put a condition. Mr. Waker, you better see that you are the Atma. No. Mr. Waker is only a form. Right now, it's that projected form of light. It's supposed to be in this role. This is clear for Waker? Same thing is for the dream. You accept this so easily in the dream. You're sitting and talking to your childhood friend. No logic comes up. Where is childhood? How did the body become so little again? It's become so humongous. Yeah, extra health is there right now, which was not there, missing in childhood. Yeah, no questions, no logic comes up that time. You accept it so quietly, easily. Yeah, it's a dream. Yeah, you're sitting and talking with your childhood friend in the dream. The dream world, along with its dreamer, is the changeless light of Atma itself. The light of Atma abides in filling the entire dream world. I accept this so easily. I have to just learn to bring the same acceptance to the waking. Yeah. Luckily, we have something to begin with because we really accept dreams as they are. And we don't challenge them. And we simply laugh at them. Exactly the same thing we have to do with the waking. Simply laugh at it at the end. Yeah. Same thing for those people having problem with their deep sleep, their Swapna Nidra Nyan Sadhana, revealing the deep sleep world of darkness. You should work a little bit over there and become clear that if I'm not able to still recognize that I am there, if there is a problem in that, it is because I assume to be this waker that is absent there. I assume to be this dreamer that is absent there. No, you have to shift the I from the waker or the dreamer to the witness of the waker, to the witness of the dreamer. And automatically you will see, oh, you are the witness of the absence of the waker and dreamer in the deep sleep, darkness. When this gets revealed to you every night, even in a small afternoon nap, again and again and again and again, and you are holding on to this stage, that is continuous nirvikalpa samadhi. Yeah. Nirvikalpa samadhi is not devoid of the last part. The last part is very important. The deep sleep world of darkness is also me, the changeless Atma, the changeless light of Atma itself. And the light of Atma abides in filling that darkness, the absence. Yeah. What does this reveal to me? That I am the fourth, Turiya. I'm not the waker in the waking world. I project the waker in the waking world, but I have to be beyond, no? I am the fourth. I project the dreamer in the dream world. I am beyond the dreamer and dream world. Similarly, I am beyond the deep sleep darkness. That is also a projection. That is why that is also called ignorance. Is that clear? I am one without a second. Yet I abide in filling all these three. I am, yet I am not. It is, yet it is not. One without a second means that there is no two. This is clear, right? One without a second. This is clear, then the next verse also will be very clear. Yeah, before going into the next verse, be very clear that now I have recognized after seeing that I am Turiya, that perception is inside out because projection is inside out. There is no world out there, no waking world, no dream world. Simply a projected hologram. Yeah, I project and I perceive my own projection. Yeah. So who's projecting? Perception, sensation, thought and feeling, because of their vasana to experience, project a combination of earth, water, fire, ether, air. I project and I perceive what I have projected. My projection is inside out. Means it is the Atma itself that is projecting thoughts, then labeling them as perceptions and saying, now I am perceiving it. It's a little game that Atma is playing with itself, like a little girl playing with her doll. This part is very, very clear. Yeah. Now the next verse will be very clear. Verse 7.2. So once you're very clear that projection is inside out, it's so clear. Yeah. So I am only projecting. This becomes very clear. But if you're still not there and you still keep stumbling and fumbling in your nirvikalpa samadhi, then You see it from objects, you separate them out from the light of consciousness. Yeah. So objects must be separated from the light of consciousness, that is one way, or the object must be made to point towards it. Pointing towards it simply means that, see, the object is also light. It does not exist beyond this waking state. Yeah. So it is simply the light of the waking. That is the meaning of object is made to point towards it, coming from outside in. That is one way. The other way is when you are very confident in your saying, I am Turiya, I am the fourth. I am projecting the waking, the dreaming, and the absence of waking and dreaming. Aha, I am the one that is the source. Yes, I am the one. You come from inside out or you come from outside in. These are the only two ways. Moment to moment, whenever I recognize that I am the stage, yeah, I have maintained it. I don't have to apply this formula at that time. I have maintained it very well. Moment to moment, I'm recognizing I am the stage in which there is this Advaitan mentor speaking to an Advaitan spiritual seeker. There is some exchange of knowledge going on. I am here at the periphery where I recognize I am the stage where everything is happening. There I don't need to apply this formula. There's no need. Yeah. But if I have slipped, I've become this. I am this teacher. See, no teacher like me. I am this teacher. I have slipped. I've got consumed. Yeah, I have forgotten that I am the light of Atma, and I believe to be this individual body mind person. Now that is where I need to apply one of the two formula. You do a little bit of work, a little bit of homework, a little self-evaluation. Oh, this is where I slip. This is where I slip in my personal relationships, money, social, political, whatever. This is where I slip. And I have noticed very strong pink color glasses, green color glasses. I'm looking through memory all the time. Yes, and that consumes me. Oh, that little vasana is my weak point. That is what is, making me forget I am the Atma. Now that you apply one of the two, yeah, you separate out that vasana from the light of consciousness. You separate out, okay, I am stuck in this little emotional drama that happened 25 years ago. 25 years later, I am still talking about it, I'm still referring to it, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah? You're separating out that object from the light of consciousness and individually attempting to resolve whatever that was. Yes? That is, the objects are separated from the light of consciousness. Or the object is made to point towards it. You recognize, oh, this vasana is also nothing but projected light on stage. It appears to be a vasana. It appears to have a strong hold on me. Whatever, fear, anger, I don't know what it is. Whatever your little attachment is. It has to be an emotional memory. Recognize that. 101%. It's never a logical, intellectual, verbal, cortex based memory. No, those get washed away like that. This is a strong emotional memory. Simply recognize this emotional memory is nothing but the light of consciousness, the Atma itself. Which way is working for me to resolve this so that I stop wearing those green color glasses or pink color glasses, whichever color glasses. This little emotional memory is something I need to deal with. Sometimes the hold of one particular emotional memory is so strong, it pulls you from the periphery to the center of the stage. You become the character, you become the performer. Very clear? Yeah. So you will have to find a way that works for you. Ekta is my projection. She's here to just tell me, you take either this path or you take this path. But it's up to me in that emotional moment which path works for me. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, how much ever you decide right now, I am going to do this. I'm going to see that it is nothing but Atma. What will happen in that moment? You don't know, right? You cannot decide right now what will happen in that moment and what I will do in that moment. No. Right now, you are just giving yourself a gentle command that, maybe this works or maybe this works. That specific level of work you will have to do on that particular emotional memory. Very clear? These are actually seemingly contradictory statements. The objects must be separated from the light of consciousness, or the objects must be made to point towards it. But they are not. They're just two ways of dealing with a problem such that the problem gets cornered and has no way to escape. Yeah. Finally, you see that it's nothing. I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah. And you step back from the person to the witnessing consciousness field or the stage. Yeah. Do it through your direct seeing. I can only offer tips here. This will start helping you create that distance that we always talk about between the waker and the witnessing consciousness field. On the inward journey, there will start becoming a clear separation between the waker and the witness. Clear separation between the waking world and the witness. Then as your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana deepens, progresses, the clear separation between the dream character and the witness. And then there is a very clear separation between the sleeper, which is nothing but darkness. There is no sleeper there. It is the darkness, the absence of the waker and the dreamer. There's a clear separation from the darkness. You stand as the witness of the absence. Finally, this witness, which is witnessing the waking, the dreaming, the deep sleep, it also collapses. You see the reality of one without a second. That is one without a second. Okay? So you take the inward journey or you take the outward journey. On the outward journey, it becomes clearly evident that the light of pure consciousness, I am that source. From me, the source, first is projected the I thought. This I thought is the same as the source of light. But it wants to go out. It doesn't want to point to the source. But you point to the source. The thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, what are they pointing towards? They are pointing towards earth, water, fire, ether, air, permutation and combination in the dream. You point to the source. Yeah. When you come to the waking, again there is thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions pointing towards earth, water, fire, ether, air. A permutation and combination of those. Yeah. It is trying to move out. You point to the source. They are all made of the same light rays as the source. Yeah, this is how we reconcile in our actual seeing the seemingly contradictory statement. Yeah, what was the verse? to see it as it is. The objects must be separated from it, or else they must be made to point towards it. This is very clear. This is very important homework so that my nirvikalpa samadhi becomes continuous. I recognize that vasana simply as an emotional memory and I weed it out, weed it out, weed it out. Point towards the source is basically weeding it out. That brings us to the last verse, verse 7.3. As soon as I recognize, oh, I am in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, I'm in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and zoop, there is a slip. I recognize vasana, some emotional memory is there. This is what consumed me. This is what pulled me out. You direct it back to its source. Means, what did you do? You move the I from the body mind person to the witness of the body mind person. The I moved from the body to the lower witness first, and then finally the lower witness collapsed, and then you see it all as one. When you see it all as one, no two, one without a second, that is the higher witness, the I principle. You fixed your attention on the I principle, and the I has moved from the body to the Atma. Then there is no suffering, no misery. You recognize stress, restlessness, no peace, the feeling of being like a fish out of water, zero happiness. All this is there only when there is this recognition, the wrong assumption of being this person. The moment this assumption is rejected and it's pointed towards the source of the light of consciousness, the Atma, all the restlessness vanishes, melts away, stress goes away. There's a straight line of equanimity. Not that the situation has changed for the body-mind person. The body-mind person is still in that situation, but it's simply a scene on the screen. I am beyond. I am sitting as the witness in the audience. Yeah? Shift the I from the body to the Atma. Very clear? Remember, you have come to the point where you have attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now there is no excuse allowed for you to keep jumping into being the person. Otherwise, it becomes pragya-aparad. Pragya-aparad, the crime of awareness. Then the pain will be many-fold. Yeah? Because now the guilt has been added. What I have attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi and I still keep assuming I am this person. The guilt that was not there, it's added now. Yeah. In this way, ignorance was actually bliss. Yeah, he lost that chance. It's gone. Too late. Yeah. So don't go into pragya aparad now. Otherwise, there will be double taxation. This could be excuse until you were ignorant, but now it is a crime. Yeah? So move the I from the body-mind person to the Atma. Then you will constantly feel light. You will feel like light. Like light and light, both, not heavy. There will be no burden of doership or experiencership. No? So then that itself is that feeling of freedom, the feeling of lightness. That is a little key. Am I feeling light and free right now? Or am I feeling bound by this person? Am I feeling caged? That is why there are verses out there that, I feel caged in the body. It's only a poetic way of saying that now I have recognized that I am the fourth. And I am even beyond the fourth. I have recognized I am that one single light without a second. And the moment I assume to not be that single light and become this person, it's like a bondage. The false bondage of doership, the false bondage of experiencership. I've caged myself in the jail of doership and experiencership. When I remove myself from this jail, I feel a constant straight line of peace and equanimity. Very light, free, desireless. Desire is always of the body. I, the Atma, really do not desire. When the I shifts from the body to the Atma, all these ups and downs of desire are cut away. Straight line of peace. Joys and sorrows, labels of the body. They dance up and down. They cannot touch me. That kind of blissful happiness, devoid of any vasana or impression, that emotional memory that could haunt me, that is not there. That kind of blissful happiness, devoid of that vasana, that is Ananda. That is your Nija Sthiti, your natural state, the Ananda state. Okay? Yeah. So here, Atmananda has given us a little formula to apply so that I attempt to maintain my Nijasthiti, my Ananda state, or the stage, whatever word you like. Your job is to now apply this week and recognize these 2, 3, 4, 5 are my colored glasses. Everybody's colored glasses are different, huh? Ekta cannot help point out, this is my colored glass. I have to figure it out. Yes, and then I have to point it towards the source. If I've recognized I'm the Turiya and beyond, it will be very easy. Simply pointing it towards the source, or separate that object out. Yeah, just see it. What is this? I'm looking through the glasses 25 years old. In 25 years, the whole story has changed. I'm holding on to that story. Yeah? This is working on that individual memory. Either this or that, whichever works for you. Okay? That completes chapter 7.